L Pro here, and today we're gonna pimp out our Dell Optiplex over there. It's over there, yeah. So here, let's bring the camera over here. Check this out. This is beautiful, and this is on a Dell Optiplex 780. You know, most of the people would be like, "Oh, well, this is what you don't want in your pre-built OEM system because you can't pimp it out." But I busted that myth right here. That's not true. Look at that. Check that out. Yeah. So as you can see, it's pimped out. And we're gonna go unnecessary in the unnecessary route here by putting another green fan inside my Dell. So this package arrived yesterday. It's the Magic 80 millimeter, yeah, 80 millimeter analyzer fan. It's green. Yeah, it says right there. We're gonna put this inside the power supply just to make this because as I already said, it's gonna be pretty unnecessary. We don't actually need to do this, but I don't care. I mean, this is exactly what we're gonna do. So what you're gonna need for this install is some scissors. Let's see, dig here real quick. And forgot this. You're gonna need a flathead screwdriver, and yeah, and you're probably also gonna need some tape, some masking tape, but I don't want to use that because I'm lazy. And yeah, so we're gonna do this real quick to my power supply. So if we can bring your camera right over here. So as you can see, there's a fan in there. I'm gonna replace that fan with this thing right here. As you can see, I already have that green fan. It's actually in there. It's not just like laying in there. It's actually in there. As you can see, I modded the thing. As you can see, we don't have 4-pin connectors on the Dells. We only have 5 pins, but as you can see there, it's in there and it works. There's no CPU fan error, even though everyone will be like, "Oh, well, this is going to cause a CPU fan error," because there's no PWM. This is PWM, so it's fine. I'll talk more about the CPU one later, but we're going to focus more on the power supply. And yes, I am actually going to do this. I'm going to open the power supply, replace the fan, even though a bunch of professionals will tell me, "No, don't do that." I don't care. I'm going to do it. So here we go. Let's begin. First thing you want to do is turn off the computer if it's on already. Come on. Wake up, buddy. There we go. No. There we go. And now we wait. After your PC takes forever to shut down, make sure you yank everything out of the back. Just take everything off. Unplug everything. Bye and bye. And now here's where the magic comes in. You're gonna have to unplug everything, and by everything I mean all the power leads. So unplug the hard drives first, then unplug the 24 pin down here. After that, unplug 2 more SATA connectors back down here. And then you're gonna have to unplug another 4 pin all the way here. It's buried in there, but there you go. That's all out. So there you go, that's all out. Those are all the power connectors. Let's continue with our big screwdriver. I forgot to mention that. Let's take off the 4 screws down over here. So first things first. So that's where you have to take these off. Oh my god. There you go. You know what, we're not going to show you this process. We'll just, after taking so long, I put these little screws right here. You can finally go up here again. There's a little tab down here, and then you just push it. And then push the power supply forward, and it's out. Yeah, and then make sure you get these wires out of the way. I forgot to mention that. As you can see, this baby's going to come out. I don't like it. I know I told you we were going to do the power supply, but that's exactly what we're going to do. So, take it apart. So next, we take off some screws. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's, yeah, and 5 right here. You have to take all these off, and then you'll be able to reveal the magic. So, after getting all the bolts out right here, Yeah, they're all right here. You can start to wiggle this thing and it'll eventually will come off like this. As you can see right there. As you can see, comes off, and there's our fan. It's all in there. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. This is the fan we're in question. We got a new 80mm here. Let's take it out real quick, see what it comes with. So, all you get is some screws and the fan itself. As you can see, it has Molex and a 3-pin. But as you can see down here, our fan uses a 2-pin. Pretty sure it's one of these in here. Can't. Yeah, it's right here. It's right there. It's that 2-pin over there. It's in there. It's this thing. As you can see, you'd be like, oh, well, this fan won't fit. Doesn't matter. We're going to modify it and we're going to make it fit. It will fit. I guarantee it. Anyway, so the first thing you're going to want to do is get your flathead screwdriver that I warned you about. As you can see, this fan isn't even held in by screws. It has rivets on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The rivets. So in order to get this fan out of here, you're going to have to literally pry it off. So you can see, and it should come off pretty easily. It shouldn't be too difficult. The rivets come off pretty easily. Oh boy. So you can see we do also have limited space, so you might want to keep that in mind too when you're doing this. Try not to touch any of this stuff. It probably can shock you because power supplies do store power even after they're off. And yeah. So obviously I'm not going to be professional here. I'm not just going to rip this out maybe here in a moment. For the bottom ones, turns out, so for the top ones you could pry it off, but for the bottom ones you just have to pinch this thing right here, and you just pull this off like that. And there's these little tiny little nail-looking thingies. And just pull this off, and you just wiggle it here, and your fan is free. Now, before we proceed, there's one more step we gotta do before we continue. Carefully go down here and cut this zip tie right here. The zip tie won't let your fan go, and that's exactly what we're gonna do right here. Try not to catch any wires, because if you do cut any wires, your power supply is dead. And especially now, you don't even have warranty, so yeah. There, it's off. Now we pull this up like that. As you can see, fan is out. And if you guys wanted to see, here's the size. They're exactly the same size. I'm not even kidding. They're the same size. And you have these remaining rivets right here from the pry that I told you about. So just pull these out. It's gonna take a bit. So now, once you get your fan, as you can see, it's nice and it's out. You either have two options. You can use the included screws with the new fan, or you could reuse the rivets. I'm probably going to reuse the rivets mostly because, you know, I don't want this to be screwed. And also, just to make this a little cooler, we're going to take this sticker off. It comes in the front of the fan. It's also in the back. And I don't like it. My bad. Right here. This is my bad. It's terrible editing. Just ignore it. You're going to take the sticker off. This sticker is just here mostly for aesthetics. It's not really useful. It's in the back too. And because I don't like it, I'll just take it off. And like that, you can even see the bearings because this is completely clear. So, the next thing we're going to do is get our rivets ready. So as you can see, these are the rivets that were in the fan. So the fan will go in like this. So pop your rivets in here, so you can use these again. Once you get your 4 grommets in like this, we're gonna have to do something that looks and so grommet fell out. It doesn't matter. We're gonna have to now. We're gonna have to do something that looks kind of like sacrifice. It isn't though, and here's why. So let me just unwrap this here real quick. So you'll notice here, there's 3 wires. There's 3 wires here, and 2 of these two, except this one. This one right here is just an RPM signal, and then these two are power. And because our red and green fan right here only has power, it doesn't have RPM signal since this isn't even on a motherboard. We're gonna cut this one off, and yeah, we are actually gonna cut this one off. So we're gonna slice like this, and then separate this wire completely away because you will not need it. It will be there. I mean, unless you want to convert this back to a 3-pin fan, which you can. This here will be just out of the way. So then these are just the 2 power leads, and we're gonna go ahead and intertwine those to those because those over there are those there will fit our power supply, so this thing can be powered instead of this. This fan, I guess, could be used again, but I wouldn't use this ever again anymore. And then we're just gonna intertwine these, and I'll show you how this is done. If you have a soldering iron, do a soldering iron because this will be much better if you do soldering iron and if you have heat shrinks. But I don't have any of those, so I'll just show you how to do it without any of those things. So once again, you're gonna need your scissors again. Slice it, and we're gonna intertwine these, and I'm gonna show you how this is done here in a sec. Okay, so you know how I said you don't actually need a soldering iron? That's because you actually don't. So I don't know if you guys can see these two wire ends. We did strip the wires. We cut that one, that fan over there. And here's what you're gonna do in order to be able to connect these. So all you need to actually do is get them in an X pattern and just intertwine them like that. So just intertwine them to the point where they are so like they're really bonded. This is basically the best way to do it without a soldering iron, and then you can just wrap this in tape, and this will essentially work. It's the best way to do it without a soldering iron because obviously I'm not the person who has a soldering iron, but that's okay. We can always just do this, and then we're just gonna do after we've done that. We're just gonna keep on intertwining it so it just stays like that. So I did basically intertwine both of the ends of the wire, so this should work. It actually will work because I already did it on the CPU fan. You know how I was talking about? This is the same Dell. As you can see, the fan is not this old Foxconn, which happens to be laying here somewhere in my room. It's down there. It's over there. It's this thing right there. Yeah, I have a mess. There's the old fan. That was in there. That was inside this Optiplex, but screw that fan. It was too loud. It was ugly. And now we replaced it. And that's all we did to that one. As you can see, that's where there's tape on it. We're going to do this one to this as well. And it will work. As you did see that one at the beginning of the video. It did work. So your final product should look something like this. And then you just wrap this in tape and it will be good to go. So I'll do the second terminal and we're going to pop this in there and see it work. Our final wiring harness is now complete. As you can see right there. Now this looks sketchy because it is kind of sketchy, but as you can see, this is just one wire right here. This is the RPM wire. It's not actually necessary. What we're trying to do is get the fan to move. We're not really trying to get the RPM signal since we're not even installing on the motherboard either way. And now we're going to plug it in and show you guys that this actually works. So here we go. Yeah, you do have to get the wiring correct. It doesn't matter which you put because if you put the wrong ones, it will not power the fan. And if you guys doubt that the fan works, so here's the power. As you can see, we're connected to the wall right here. It's the wall right there. It's connected. And we're going to push the power supply tester button. And it works. As you can see, it's plugged into there. It works. So there you go, guys. That's how you wire your fan to a power supply. As you can see, it works. And there's one wire missing right here. As you can see, this is not connected. It doesn't have to be. It's unnecessary. So guys, that's literally all you do. You just push the button and it is good to go and it works. And as you can see, our old fan right here, This is rip. So guys, that's pretty much how you do it. We're gonna go ahead and put this back together and see how it looks inside. Once you install the fan, I did tell you you could use either the grommets, aka the rubber, these grommets, or rivets, whatever you want to call them, or you could use the screws like I did. As you can see, I use the screws because they're much easier to use, obviously. As you can see, the fan is in there and it works. Let me just check this out. Yeah, it works. So as you can see, it genuinely does work. I'm not even making this up. It's the green fan. Unplug this. I never unplugged this, by the way. You can see it's out of power. So now, if you will have a little bit of wire, extra wire left, just stuff it in there. It doesn't actually matter. As you can see, and now you can just simply get your cover back on and re-screw this thing back together, and I'll show you the final results here, how it looks like. As you can see, we're gonna line this up, put the screws back on. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're like 4 screws, and then one over here, and that's pretty much it. As soon as you do that, you're good to go. Put your power supply back together. As you can see, we did install our new fans. You can see our old fan is right here, just in case for you guys that are, oh, this is just editing magic, which I don't even get how that would be possible. Sorry. As you can see, boom, we have a green fan. There's the old fan. This is the new one running in there. It actually does work too, and it looks pretty cool, I would say. I told you this is completely unnecessary. We don't have to actually do something like this. But it does. It is cool. I already told you I went with the screws. It's not. It doesn't rattle. It's just the cables. It's just the cables over here. Sorry. Oh man. So as you can see, I think it's pretty cool. You can do this to your own power supply, but I don't know. Would you want, like, if you have a warranty, don't try this. If this system is old as fuck and you don't really have a warranty on there, this is going to be a really cool mod and project you can do. So there you go. It's in here and it works. This is the old fan. I mean, sure, you can reuse this. You can just plug in 2 new power connectors and this will work just fine. But I genuinely don't care about this fan anymore. Screw it. It's going away, and now we're going to put the power supply back inside. So give me a moment and I will do that for you right away. Supplies back inside. As you can see, I got mine back in. Go ahead and reconnect all your drives and power connect leads that you have on the machine. So as you can see, you have our ATX 24 pin. It should all work just fine. Man. So finally, after tons of work, our fans are finally all together. As you can see, our system is, power supply works. Now that's just blinking. Oh, whatever. Oh, there it is. Doesn't matter. The system does work. So as you can see, it's powered on. As you can see, both the fans. Yeah, look at that. So as you can see, the system works just fine. This fan's also working. Man, I kind of want to add a third fan right here. You technically could, because you know there's space. I just would need another connector. I would have to convert this floppy drive into a SATA, and then turn the SATA into a Molex, and then we'll have power for another fan right here. That might be for your future video, but we'll see. I have a couple things I want to mention about this project you're doing. That I did with this Optiplex. As you can see, I pimped it out. I got some cool LED fans now on both the front right here and the rear. I have both fans, and they both work really well. The graphics card is really loud. I wish I could pimp this out too, but there's no standard graphics card fans. So that's pretty much it. Also for the CPU fan, you're gonna need if you do want to try this on your CPU fan, you can do basically the exact same process. You just have to do it with this. So as you can see right here, this is a Dell 5-pin that was converted to a deck. I converted this PWM fan standard 4-pin to a 5-pin Dell, and it works. You already saw it like a bunch of times already. It works. Let me just give you a brief overview of what you want here. So as you can see, I have this other fan which I bought by mistake, and I bought this other fan which is the one in there. And as you can see, this is the PWM. So make sure it has a PWM technology. If it doesn't, you're gonna run into issues where the system doesn't want to boot because it thinks the system fan is dead. But if you do the 5-pin conversion with this, you will never get any of those errors ever. So now let me show you a non-exemplar, a PS. It's the 120 millimeter fan that goes in here. So you see 120 millimeters. I have this fan right here. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys here. This fan right here. Check this out. So this fan right here. The reason why you can't really use one of these fans. Let me show you real quick. Oh man, it got stuck in my. Oh, screw it, frick. There we go. It got stuck on the cover. What the fuck? You don't want 3-pin fans like this. 3-pin fan like these. You don't want these. You actually don't want these, because these are the ones that are going to give you those errors of the system won't want to boot. Make sure you get the 4-pin PWM versions like this one. This is a green one. You can get red, orange, white, and all red, purple. I think there's also blue. There's all kinds of colors you can do. I chose green because I have a NVIDIA GPU just for that reason. Right here we have an exemplar of what you don't want to buy, because if you can't wire this to this, and if you do end up wiring it, your system will say that it's the system doesn't, that the fan is dead. And obviously you could plug this into a Molex right here, and then plug this into here, convert one of these SATA connectors to a Molex, but that's too many adapters, and it doesn't really quite work as well as this. As you can see, we have our fans right there. We have our GTX 1050 Ti. Yeah, there is the GTX 1050 Ti in here. I'm not making that up. This is the Optiplex 780. This works pretty much. This tutorial I showed you is specific for this very type of Optiplex. If your Optiplex looks like this, this is the 780, the mini tower. As you can see, if it looks like this, whether it's a 360, Optiplex 360, GX 520, GX 620, 745, 755, 580, it doesn't matter. This will still work. Speaking of Optiplex 580, I'll give you guys an update. I'm going to buy another one of these, an Optiplex 580. AMD based. I'll make a video, an interesting video. I think it's pretty interesting. We're going to try an experiment on this. So I will provide, in the description there will be two diagrams available, so you can wire this all correctly, and so that you get this really cool, yeah, those two fans right there. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and put this back together and boot it up and show you guys that there's no problems whatsoever, and this will work perfectly despite having third-party fans. I already lost my warranty, and this power supply is no longer stock either. It has a green power. It has a green fan. So let me show you. Just in case you were wondering whether the PC actually still works, I will tell you right now it does. Sorry for all the mess. So as you can see, let's power it on. Here it comes. It takes a bit. There it is. Optiplex 780. I did say you could do this on pretty much any Optiplex that looks like this. I wanted to mention the newer ones. You could do this on the newer ones because they still use the exact same connectors. However, it's kind of stupid because you really can't see the fans. As you can see, there was no errors. And I have a green fan. As you can see, you can try this on pretty much any Optiplex you would like. Obviously, if it has no warranty, it's even more recommended. But if you do have warranty, don't do this, because Dell will not want to give you any warranty whatsoever, because you basically altered the functionality of your system, and they'll be like, oh well, since you did this, that's why you're getting these problems, and that's why we won't fix it. That's okay though. So I did do the power. I told you guys I did the power supply fan. I know this was unnecessary. Many of you are gonna be like, oh, on the comments are gonna be like, oh, well, why'd you do that? It's fucking stupid. You can't even see the fan. You know, that's just to make it look cool. As you can see, there it is. That's the fan I just showed you how to install. I did this to the CPU fan as well. It's connected and it works. It's working perfectly. So you can see we just lit up the system. I want to get a third fan, put it right here. Should I? I don't know. But as you can see, it works fine. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I want you. That's pretty much all I have to do. You know that. Yeah, that's literally all I did. And anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Hope to see you in the next video.